Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video where diversity is our strength. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're going to talk about a diverse couple of things today. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. First and foremost, Tales of Kenzera. Zal, director Abubakar Salim plays diversity victim in discount game after boycott crushes it. So, if I understand correctly, this is one of the games that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in. And my understanding is this is like a game based in Africa, African main character and all that. And I'm all for that, right? That's cool, man. You want to make a game about your heritage, your people, where you're from and all that. That's cool. I enjoyed Chia, which was based on New Caledonia, if I'm not mistaken, the name of the small country there in the outside of Australia and New Zealand. It was a cool game until it went into the LGBT nonsense. But before that, it was fun. I was like, oh, this is kind of a neat culture to explore. The island people and their ways, the food, and it was really, really cool. The food was especially cool because they had like, you can go buy food at all these different places, and it was really neat. Really, really neat game in that regard. So yeah, I'm all for that kind of stuff. But apparently this guy worked with Sweet Baby Inc. and that put him on the radar. And then, yeah, everything Sweet Baby Inc. works on turns to garbage. And he probably didn't need them on this project, to be quite honest. I mean, if you're making a game that is set in Africa with an African main character and based on African, whatever it is, folklore, whatever. I don't know a lot about the game, but if that's what you're basing it on, then go for it, man. Just do it. Why do you need Sweet Baby Inc. to stick their poisonous fingers into your pudding and mix it up and destroy it, right? What does Sweet Baby Inc. know about you and what you want to do? Nothing. So let's read this a little bit and talk about it. We won't go through the whole thing, and just like always, I will put the link down below in the description for you, but Tales of Kenzera Zal was added to the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam Curator list after Sweet Baby Inc. announced its January newsletter that it worked on the game. The company wrote, "Our friends at Surgeon Studios dropped the trailer for their upcoming action-adventure platformer, Tales of Kenzera Zal. We have the utmost pleasure of working with Abubakar Salim and the Surgeon team on this poignant story, which has been heavily inspired and influenced by Bantu mythology. We know you're going to love it as much as we do. In Tales of Kenzera Zal, join Zal as he journeys through the world of Kenzera to get his Baba back, joined by an unlikely companion, the god of death," the company added. Get his Baba back. Baba is a word that, in Ukrainian, that is used for grandmother. That's kind of funny, because I'm part Ukrainian, so that's what we called my grandmother on that side of the family. I don't think these guys are Ukrainian now. Not only did Sweet Baby Inc. announce they worked on the game, but Abubakar Salim was a partner with the founders of Sweet Baby Inc., David Bedard and Kim Belair, alongside Sweet Baby Inc. employee and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League writer Amy Lee Shawn in a company named Bebe Sucre Limited, or Sweet Baby Limited. Wow. So this is, I guess, yeah, Baby Sucre Ltd. Certificate of Incorporation. Salim resigned from his role as director in the company on March 12th, 2024, after being appointed on April 27th, 2023. Interesting. So that's very, very recent then that he was involved with that. But yeah, we're not going to read all this, but I'll tell you, I saw some comments about the game and all that. Apparently this guy claimed victim, like racism and all that, was what ruined his game. But my understanding, it was a pretty mediocre game. And I saw one person's comment on it was, people talked about the story, people talked about the characters, they weren't that great. And then, one guy asked the question, he goes, well, if you remove the story and the characters, if it's still not a good game, it's not a good game, and there's some fact to it. But at the time this screenshot was captured, it had 17 players on, 35 in a 24-hour peak. All-time peak was 287. That's not a lot, man. This was back in middle of April, so yeah, this hasn't been out that long, but long enough. Yeah, not 1,752 in the top sellers. Yikes. 323 positive reviews, 81.57 positive reviews. It's not bad. But with the gamer's base dwindling, Salim took to X at the end of May to announce a discount for the game. However, he also painted himself as a victim. He stated, "So I don't want to address this, but we're here now. Look, since the beginning of my career, there's always been someone who has made me feel like I don't deserve the opportunity I got. From Assassin's Creed to Raised by Wolves, I've had to ignore people saying that it wasn't the work that got me the opportunities. No, it was simply because I'm black. Look, I've turned the other cheek and just kept doing my thing. Even when people were saying the only reason why he's been cast as father in Raised by Wolves is because the character is a service model. Look, some of these comments, a few of them you can just brush off, but when it's a constant barrage of them, it's exhausting." And it goes on and on and on. And we're not going to address all of this here. You can read it all yourself if you want to, but I kind of want to talk, this is the point I want to talk about here. The only reason you got this job is because you're black. So this is an industry practice, and it's a practice that we've seen a lot lately where they say they're going to hire you based on diversity, right? They're going to hire you based on your sexuality, the color of your skin, and all that. So when you state something like that as a company, and then you hire somebody on that is black or is gay or is a woman or whatever marginalized group of people you want to throw into that mix, you got to understand that there is going to be a percentage of people that are going to question whether or not that person deserved the job. And it's not their fault, right? Whether they were the most qualified person or not, it is not their fault. It is the fault of the company for having stuff in place like that that cheapens anybody who gets a position for that company in any way, shape, or form, right? Look at the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Okay? She and Joe Biden were at each other's throats in the primaries and all that, but when Joe got up there and he was the one that was, the nominee and all that, he says, "I don't know who I'm going to get for my vice president yet, but it's going to be a strong black woman." He might not have said strong. I might have added that in, but it's going to be a female person of color, I think. And I'm not quoting him directly there, but that was the gist of it, right? A female person of color, a black woman. And lo and behold, you got Kamala Harris, right? What does that tell you? Does that tell you she's the best? No, it tells you she fit those two criteria. She is a woman and she is a person of color. Is she good? Is she the most qualified person to be the vice president, the second most powerful person in the world? No, absolutely not. It's absolutely ridiculous to think that way. But when you make these your practices, you're just doing a disservice to anybody who actually earns a position. And it's pretty sad. Let's talk about Activision next. Activision declares there's power and pride in an internal email. Wow. The theme for the month of June is pride, power and pride. So we all know June is Pride Month. This month is being kind of nice, though. A lot of companies are kind of keeping it on the DL. They've seen the backlash over the last few years. And that backlash is not because people dislike gay people, okay? Personally, I could care less, right? What you do in your bedroom is what you do. I don't care one way or the other. What I do get tired of is seeing everybody pander to it, especially during the month of June. It's so stupid. Everybody changes their avatar, puts a rainbow flag behind their icon, whatever, and says, "Yay, gay people. We love gay people." Target puts out all that crap in their store to sell it and puts it right up front. "Yay, buy this, gay people." And it's these companies pandering to individuals, for that month. It's like February, Black History Month. They do the same thing. We love black people this month, the rest of the year, it's like, whatever, it's the same old story. And it's silly and it's stupid. And people fall for it, man. People fall for it. Everybody, it's like this mindless hive of humanity out there where, there's always this current thing that everybody's putting a flag in their profile for, whether it be the Black Lives Matter flag, the Palestinian flag, the Ukrainian flag. Now it's going to be the rainbow flag or the trans flag or whatever. And it's absolutely silly and stupid. But we looked a couple weeks ago, I think it was, at an internal document from Activision that addressed how they were going to put this kind of stuff. And was it Activision or was it Ubisoft? I think it was Activision. Pretty sure it was. But in any case, one of these two companies, those are the two worst companies. That's why I get them confused all the time. They're like both bottom of the barrel as far as this pride crap goes and all this diversity is our strength crap. These guys are more interested in putting out products that get a high ESG score than they are putting out quality video games. That's what really sucks. But As shared by YouTuber Yellow Flash, the email states, games are a powerful medium for expressing identity and fostering connections as they allow us to tell diverse stories and create inclusive spaces where everyone sees themselves reflected. It continues, as we celebrate the LGBT community during Pride Month in the U.S. this June with our power and pride, we're reminded of the strength and unity that comes from embracing our true selves, supporting one another, and telling our stories in everything we do. And, this is it. It's all about gayness right now, right? Homosexuality is unnatural, given it closes the individuals who engage it in the act of creations and the blessings of new life. And it's true. I've said that before myself, right? It's a dead end evolutionary-wise, right? Every ancestor of yours successfully procreated until it got to you, and then all of a sudden you stopped. Now, I'm not one to talk. I don't have kids, but I'm unable to have kids. But it's not a lifestyle choice. It's not because I chose to, put my wiener in another dude instead of a female. It's something that happened to me. So I'm just as big of a failure as all these people in the LGBT community as far as procreating and getting the human race to continue on. But, again, some of us don't have a choice, and that's a shame. All I can do is try to help people moving forward not embrace this lifestyle and not end up, at the dead end of evolution. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, Activision Call of Duty gives away free Pride gift pack that includes transgendered themed bullets and guns. This is highly contested right now because a lot of stuff going on out there with, transgender shooting up places. I mean, non-binary people, everybody's going crazy these days. Everybody wants to talk about, it's always the straight white guy that does it. Well, if you really start looking at statistics, you're going to see a lot of mass shootings are defined in a way that's rather ambiguous, right? A gang shooting, one gang driving up on another gang's house and pulling off a hit counts as a mass shooting. And it shouldn't. That should be considered something different, I think. Mass shootings are when they go into schools, when they go into places of business, that sort of stuff, concerts, whatever. That's way different than gangs shooting each other. All that does is elevate your numbers by so much, and it gives political power to the people who want to take away the guns, right? But in any case, yeah, they cover the bullets on some guns. Trans bullets, man. Look at that. User Gustavo Cardones corroborated there are indeed transgender-themed bullets on one of the firearms. Says they ain't going to like this. The M4 blueprint that you get buying Modern Warfare 3. The M4, okay. Themed bullet shells are not new to Call of Duty, but transgendered-themed ones are. And many players and critics are crying foul. Ex-user 9mm SMG posted, if you're playing Call of Duty, stop. They introduced trans flag bullets to honor Pride Month with the number of mass shootings involving trans, non-binary people recently. It seems to have a motive. Now, I have no doubt that Activision is not actively supporting the murder of people by transgender people. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because that's not... Maybe I could be wrong, but to me that is just the epitome of the most evil you could ever be, So Ian Miles Chong here says, Activision's Call of Duty just added transgender bullets to the game in honor of Pride Month, so you can literally roleplay a transgender mass shooter. And you got Grum's talking about it. We started Pride, and we've already had the worst virtue signal of the year. And boy, does it go on and on. Here's the quartering Jeremy over there. Call of Duty selling trans pride bullets, just what every mass shooter wants. God, and Demion, everybody's talking about this, and it's absolutely insane. Oh, Call of Duty has just announced the new Audrey Hale operator update. Audrey Hale bundle includes 2 operator skins, trans pride bullets, 1 new map, a copy of Hale's manifesto. Have we even seen that yet? So it's really ridiculous, right? Really ridiculous. And it's kind of tone deaf. I don't think it's done on purpose. In fact, I bet my bottom dollar that it's not done on purpose to promote transgender violence. But given how volatile this country is right now, and the fact that these transgender people are literally mentally ill, they're mentally ill. You see the threats sometimes online. You see the TikToks of them. Well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're coming for your kids and blah blah blah. They're sick, twisted, and demented people. And here we are giving them guns and bullets and all that. I mean, how many trainees play this game? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I doubt a ton of them do, but boy, they're going to enjoy killing us white cis guys with those bullets, aren't they? I went to X just to look around and see, what's trending with Activision right now. And, here's Grums once again. He's on most of the stuff that's trending right now. But, here's the picture from the game. And then here we go, talking about 6 recent shootings that have occurred and these different people that were involved. And we have, 4 trans, a cross-dresser, and a non-binary in there. And that's just, it's kind of weird, Kind of weird. Is it tone deaf? Yeah. Is it evil? It's evil in the fact that you're just helping push this disgusting narrative for these poor mentally ill people that need help. Other news, Uvalde family is now suing Call of Duty, Instagram, and Daniel Defense for school shooting, which is interesting. I don't like these kinds of lawsuits. I think, I can't remember which one it was that sued Remington, but somebody sued Remington and pretty much put him out of business. And it's not right, it's not right. Call of Duty is not responsible for the shooting, right? It's just not responsible. It's like when they used to blame heavy metal music on violence or, movies and stuff like that. These things are out there, right? The music, the movies, the video games, and there's violence in them. There's sexual stuff in them. There's all kinds of stuff available for kids, young people to absorb. Most people are normal and not twisted, right? Most people can separate reality from fiction. They can say, all right, I'm playing a game right now where I'm killing thousands of people because I'm in a shooter game. I'm playing a soldier in an enemy field. Cool. Whereas you have other, the rare percentage of a percentage that can't differentiate that, and they kind of lose their mind. But it really falls on parenting at this point, or the lack thereof, I think, that causes most of these problems, as we have a lot of kids being raised without parents anymore. I'm Generation X. I was raised by my parents, but I spent a lot of time alone. I spent a lot of time hanging out after school, at least for 3-4 hours till mom got home, and then dad got home a little bit later from their jobs. I learned how to make myself something to eat after school. I played video games. I watched TV, hung out with my friends. We did, go to different people's houses and we do stuff. It was cool times, right? And then, as long as I got home by dinner time, everything was fine. I got my homework done. But I still had parents in my life. I wasn't being raised by society or whatever is raising kids these days. And I think what's raising kids these days is what we're looking at right now. Social media, social media, video games, the internet, all of that is what's raising our kids, because parents aren't around like they used to be, definitely not. There's so many kids out there that, even if they're home, the kid's spending hours a day on a tablet or on his computer or on his phone with his nose buried, and who knows what they're doing all this time. It's just absolutely insane, and it's sad. So if you got kids, talk to them, spend some time with them, show them you love them, show them you care about them. Don't let them be raised by the internet. You raise them yourself. It's your responsibility, man. You had them. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. But oh yeah, there's one more here. Halo promotes disordered sexual behavior. Turns off comments because what's Pride Month without Galo, right? I mean, this is absolutely hilarious. We'll talk about this and then we'll roll out. At the beginning of the month, Microsoft's Halo franchise promoted disordered sexual behavior and made sure to have the comments turned off so people cannot express their disgust at the promotion of such evil. And here it is, their little tweet there. Happy Pride Month! Embrace love, diversity, and inclusion by equipping the Unity 24 armor, coding, nameplate, and emblem in Halo Infinite this June. Let's stand together in honoring our LGBT community and forging a future of unity and acceptance for all. Give me a break. You guys don't give a shit, And again, here we go. It's June. Yeah, we're going to virtue signal like this, and this is the woke box talking here, And Sony's not better, so don't, I'm not being a hater here. They're all pretty bad overall. But this is just stupid. No one cares. No one cares about your pride. They care about your money. They want your money. That's why they do this kind of stuff. But you notice they're not changing their avatars. They've backed off quite a bit this year. And I have a feeling that Pride Month is dying. Give it another 3 to 4 years, and it's probably going to be something that not a lot of people talk about, because we're going to look back on it and go, that was really cringe. I mean, we see these parades with dudes running around with their wankers out and kids on the sidelines watching these parades with their families. And yeah, it's up to, parents want to bring their kids to that. That's, you're right as a parent, but my God, what the fuck? What kind of parent does that? What kind of disgusting people do that? And why do you got to celebrate? Pride has nothing to do with love is love. Pride is all about sex and how creepy you are and what weird shit you want to fuck. And that's all it's about, man. And I don't know. That's so disgusting. Anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up. If you haven't done so, please leave a like on the video down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.